Okay, I've got one person on, or I thought I did, so we are going to get started in just a few minutes. Let's wait for a few people to get on board. And I'm going to get set up here. All right. Okay, so we're going to get started in just a minute. I've got in front of me my celebration. We'll be talking about that in just a few minutes. Looks like people are starting to make it here. Those Facebook algorithms kind of, I don't know whatever happens to that kind of stuff. So Facebook kind of does their own thing. And looks like a few more people are coming on. So if you would like to introduce yourself and let us know where you're watching from, I'm sure I'll see some familiar names in just a few minutes. So I hope you guys had a great day. It's President's Day today, so I was lucky enough to have that day off, so a 3-day weekend. So today I finished up my Parks and Recreation class, so that is all ready to go for a in-person class on Wednesday. We have not met since November because I always take January off for just for a break. So it'll be fun to get together with my regulars. It's kind of a social group, and we'll be making some note cards and a mini paper pumpkin box. We'll be decorating it. So, all right, we're going to just go over quickly celebration. And I think I did see Carla come on. So that's awesome, Carla, because you are one of the people that have earned celebration. So we do have just a few days left. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days left to earn a free spot. And I'm having a kind of a special event where we'll make 4 or 5 cards, have snacks, and enjoy a free gift from me. And you do not have to be local to participate. You can be long distance because I'm going to have a Zoom link. And if you want to partake in the celebration, you're welcome to come on with the Zoom link. But in order to earn celebration, your product order would need to be $150 or more during celebration, and that's how you earn your seat. It doesn't have to be in one single order. It can be in 5 different orders. As long as from January 4th to February 28th, your total is $150 or more, you will earn your seat. Now I've got 3 or 4 people that are so close. I'm going to be reaching out to you this week to let you know how much more you would need to order to earn celebration. So far we have Jody H, and Jody is on my team, and we're doing a different kind of celebration for my team members. They would have to, how they earn it, they promote to the next level, they have a recruit, or they have $1,500 in sales. So that's how my team members make it. So far I have one, Jody H. And then my customers that have earned a seat are Carla A. Hello, Carla. Kathleen. Let's see, Kathleen A. Excuse me. Let me start over. Make it a little bit more presentable. Jody H. Carla A. Kathleen H. Charlene L. and Teresa C. And I think I just saw Teresa C come on. So that's how you earn, my customers earn celebration. So I'm wondering who's going to be the next one to be on this list. We still have 7 days left. So last week on Friday on my YouTube Live, I made these 2 cards here. I think I made 3, but anyway, I got a thinking of you card and a happy birthday card. So all you had to do was email me and I put you in a drawing. Well, I had just 2 people email me. So these are the 2 people that have won these cards, Louise J and Teresa C. So I know your addresses because I have sent something to you before. So I'll get those in the mail tomorrow. All right, so I just want to give also a shout out to another Inspired Daisy who has qualified, and that is Patty C. Okay, so celebration. I thought I would make 3 cards, let me show you right here, based on free products from Celebration, and that means the paper. So I'm going to be making this one here. I love how this lace here looks really nice with the daffodils. Okay, so we'll be making this one here first. And I kind of tried to put them in order of like how difficult they are, but this one I think is the easiest. Okay, and then the next one up is going to be this birthday card here. I kind of designed them a little, I don't know, I think they're kind of nice how I designed them. And then here's this little girl. We're going to give her some blonde hair. So, and that's in the order of difficulty in my mind. So, have you guys seen the butterflies yet? Those are super fun. They are flat, so that's very, very helpful when we mail. So, and this is denim ribbon here. Just a strip of it going across. So I thought that would be nice to add in that denim ribbon because it goes with the Misty Moonlight there too. So we're gonna get started. Let's work with the Daffodil card first. Now with Celebration, here we go. It's on page 4 and 5, and Celebration does expire on February 28th. So you can earn this pack of paper right here with a $50 product order from my website. So my website is called inspiredbygram.com, and when you go to that, you could just hit the shop now button, and then you'll be taken to my Stampin' Up store. So let me just get everything in front of me, clearing my area. Did you guys have a great day today? I hope so. All right, I'm still kind of struggling with some of my blocks because I've got them mounted on other cards or stamp sets because I'm actually starting to put together my card club too. It's just started on that about an hour ago. So I got a lot going on in my craft room right now. Okay, so for this card, the ink colors would be Mossy Meadow and Pool Party. And then I've got a die that we'll need to die cut our sentiment. And I put this together late last night, and I hope to God I have everything together because it was late. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't get to bed until midnight, but it's okay because I could sleep in this morning. I slept in until 7:30, so I was so happy about that. Okay, so we're gonna work with Very Vanilla in this for this card here. Can somebody tell me if my camera's too close? Because it kind of looks like it on my laptop, but I can't tell. I'm not your eyes. So somebody just give me a yes, it's good, or is it too close or too far away? Okay, well, you guys are answering that question. We're going to go over the card base. So Very Vanilla, which is cut 8.5 by 5.5. I've already pre-scored it with my Stampin' Trimmer at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to fold that in half, and then I'll just use my bone folder here just to give it a nice burnish. It'll lay flat for us. This is going to be a horizontal card. This piece here, again, Daffodil Afternoon, this is the back side of it, but of course I'm going to use this side. And this is cut, it's going to cover that whole front, 5.5 by 4 1/4. And I would recommend using your liquid glue when you are working with something like this because you need to slide it in position. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my liquid glue and just bring it all the way around and a little bit in the middle. Make sure you cap it so it doesn't dry out. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to normally I would tip it up this way and kind of put it on there, but I would have to put my head in the camera, I think. So I'm gonna try to get this the best I can and be able to move it just a little bit. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Now, if your paper goes over the edge, all you need to do is take your paper snips and just trim it down. Mine looks pretty good, so we'll go with that. So that is going to be the front of our card. All right, so then the next thing we're going to do, I need to add that lace ribbon. So this is the, what is this, scallop lace trim. This has been around a while, so it was a carryover from the last catalog, which is really nice. Definitely reminds me of my grandmother, of course. So let me just show you what I did with the lace trim. I did wrap it around the inside because I love adding my ribbon to the inside of the card. It just adds something nice. So to do that, I'm right-handed, so I always start with a bolt on my right hand, and I'm just going to put this in here, making sure that it is flat like this, okay? And then we're going to figure out where that sentiment, this is going to go, okay? And what you want to do is look for a gap. So the gap that I see is right here. So in the end, I'm going to put the die cut here because we're not going to lose many flowers that way. If you put it over here, you're gonna lose some, and then you have this like big gap here. So I suggest just covering up this area here of the green. So what I'm gonna do, let me just make sure that trim is flat again because it could have gotten twisted. No, it's good. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this around. I'm gonna work in this, I'm gonna add my Stampin' Seal Plus, and I wanna probably put it right about here. Okay, so then I'm going to add this lace to the glue there. And then I'm going to wrap this around and let it meet up to the other edge. And then I'm just going to take my really fancy scissors and cut that ribbon. Okay, so that's kind of what it looks like right now. I might want to move that up just a little bit. Let me just see first. I might have put it down a little bit. I think it's okay. All right, so we're going to set this aside. Actually, we're going to stamp. So let me grab my Stampin' Pierce mat, and we are going to be stamping in, let's see, Pool Party first. And you can't really tell, I don't think, but I did second generation stamping on this little die cut label here. So that's what I'm gonna do first. And I have, what I used was this flower stamp. And so what I'm just gonna ink up in Pool Party, and I'm gonna stamp off over here. And then I'm just going to stamp just like that for right now. And then I'm going to, let me see my die cut here. Just want to make sure. Okay, so I have to go this way. Because if I stamped it this way, then it's very, very close to the edge. But if I just turn the die this way, I won't have any problem. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to stamp the sentiment in this kind of area. So we've got Mossy Meadow ink, and I just got a new Mossy Meadow, and I haven't gooed it up with my petroleum jelly yet, so I will do that. And that, if you do that, it slides a lot better. Okay, so I'm just stamping right over that image in Pool Party. And the next thing we need to do is I picked out this little floral image with some greenery, and I just kind of stamped down in the lower corner there. And then we're going to also stamp our envelope. So this is a very vanilla envelope. If you just stamp down there in the corner, that kind of adds a lot to your envelope, right? Don't ever send a naked envelope, okay? You can also stamp on the envelope flap here. Let's just add one here. So it kind of looks like that. you can actually fill this all up as well. And I'm just going to do it in Pool Party. The biggest thing is you don't want your patterns going in the same way. That way you've it gets a little boring. So we're going to open this up here, and then let's add some going off the edge here. We'll turn our stamp and go this way. Let's add some here. And then if you want to get up to the top here and fill in the gaps, you can just close that envelope and just add kind of like a floral image or some foliage. And I think that's pretty good. So you can also add designer series paper to your envelope flap as well, or stamp it. And then here's the front image. Okay, so next thing we want to do is we need to die cut this out. And I've got my mini cut and emboss here. So let me grab that. And I've got plate number 3 and number 2. And then I've got my paper. Hopefully you can see this. Okay, I'm just waiting for my laptop to catch up. It's like a 10 to 15 second delay, so I just want to make sure I was still on camera here. So I'm gonna just lower this a little bit, and honestly, I cannot remember the name of this die. If you guys know it, put it in the comments, because I just honestly don't remember which one I grabbed. I wonder if it's with the ornate frames. I think it is, because the other one is from Ornate Frames. Okay, so then let's grab my other plate, number 2. You can tell I die cut Daffodil Delight paper because I need to clean that. I just use water and dish soap. All right, so that crunching noise is supposed to happen. I think this is the only die cutting we're doing tonight, so that's kind of good. All right, so hopefully I got that straight, which I kind of did. So I love this little frame there. So I'm going to put my little die over there so I don't lose it, and these frames or pads go over there. So now we're just going to assemble the card. So we've got I know this is Ornate Frames. This is very hard to die cut, so make sure you have one of those little brushes that you can kind of help it along the way, because it's definitely, it was causing me to, I need to get some more plates. Now, if I had brand new plates, it probably totally would die cut perfect. Now, I just need to, sorry, my glue is not good, so I'm looking for my quilting pin, and I don't have it. So let's see if I'm gonna blow this up here, squeeze it. If not, I'm gonna use my seal. There, oh, there we go. Okay, I know most of you use liquid glue, that's why I'm trying to use it a little bit more. Okay, so now this looks really nice matched up with this frame. Okay, then we're gonna flip it over, and we're going to add our Stampin Dimensionals on the back side here. You can use minis, you can use regular size. I'm gonna use regular size, and I'm only gonna add 2. And we'll peel those off. And then we're going to add the sentiment right over the seam here in the middle. And then we're going to find our classic matte dots, and they come in white, vanilla, gray, and black. So I do like the fact that they have the vanilla ones. So I'm going to add 3 of these to the front of the card, in 2 big ones and then 1 little one, and try to kind of make a triangle. Okay, so that's a little, odd numbers are more pleasing to the eye than even numbers. Looks like I wanna, let me just add, looks like I need to add a Stampin' Dimensional here. It's not laying flat there. Oops. And of course I'm gonna have to add another one. Thought I could get away with 2, but it doesn't look like it, so I'm gonna add 4. Okay. Now the final touch is going to be adding Wink Stella. Now Wink Stella is a glitter brush, and if you haven't tried Wink Stella, I would highly suggest it. Now the only place I'm going to add the Wink Stella is on this little flower here. So I'm just kind of coloring in the flower itself, and then a little bit on there, and then these little kind of open areas here. Probably can't tell, but it is glittery on my side. And then we're going to do the same thing with the envelope. Let's add a little sparkle to the envelope. The little leaf here, and then these little open, like, leaves there, I guess. I don't know what they're called, but you guys know what they are. All right, so isn't that card wicked simple, right? You can do this with any kind of paper. Just 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It matches right on the front of the card. And add a little bit of lace trim and a nice little sentiment here, along with some embellishment, and that's super quick, and you could mass produce this design very easily. So that is that card, and then here's the one, my sample card that I made last night. Okay, about the same. So that's our simple card. Does anybody have any questions on this? Let's see. Let me just kind of look through and see. Doesn't look like it. So Susan, I have 2 packs of this DSP and need to get busy using it up. Yes, you do need to get busy. Yeah, it's beautiful. I made some list pads. Let me just go grab those. They're really pretty. This is my host reward for February. If people use my host code and they spend, what is it, $50 or more, they'll get one of these for free. So this is another thing that I made with a paper, Daffodil Afternoon. So I sell at craft fairs. So I purchased these little list pads here at Walmart. They sell them now 2 to a pack for like $1.56. And I sell these for $5. And they're super easy to make. And here's another one in that beautiful paper. So, and on the back side, I put the designer series paper, because why not? Because paper sells, and I sell these for $5, and I basically have less than probably $2 in it. So I'm really making $3. Okay. Slimline cards too are another option. I don't have mine because I actually mailed it. Yes, Slimline cards go nicely as well. All right, so we're going to move on to card number 2. I do need to clean up my area here so I can be a little bit more organized, and I need to clean, use my Stampin' Scrub to clean my stamps because we're going to be using them. And just in case I'm using a different color, it will be nice and clean. So I'm just taking my stamps and just, there's this side here, I highlight it with this little star here, so my customers, when I do have classes in person, they know the left side is the wet side and the right side is the dry side. Okay. All right, so the next card is going to be this one. I colored a fresh freesia bird. I wanted to be different, and I wanted to make it the same color as the designer series paper. So let me grab I'm going to close up these ink pads right now. I don't want anything to land in them, and I don't want my hands to get in there either. Okay, so here is I got my little basket here of everything. It's all organized. And I'll tell you what I'm going to be using on this card. Okay, so, and I'll just take everything out as it comes. So here's this glittered organdy ribbon. And this has been around a while too, but it's really pretty. It's got that nice little glitter on it, and it's in black with silver glitter. And it's kind of, you can see through it, which is really nice. So here's how I used it on this card, and you can see the flower underneath. So that is our ribbon, our ink, Fresh Freesia, and also I need my Memento Black. So I've got Memento Black as well. I've got the bird stamp, and then I have, let's see, what's this one say? Hope you have the best birthday. And then I have this little kind of flower embellishment type of thing. I've got iridescent rhinestones, basic jewels. These are in back order, but I have a few left. All right, and then the blends. So I am using, let's see, Fresh Freesia, and then this is dark and light mint macaron, and then this is dark and light pale papaya. And then here's my kit. So let me grab everything here, take it out. Our card base is going to be basic black. Hi, Pam from Jeffersonville. All right, so let's see what we've got here. So basic black, which is the same size as that previous card. It's cut 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4, and we're going to burnish it so it lays flat. This is going to be portrait side, so make sure you are going to place your paper on correctly. Now we're going to be working with Fresh Freesia. This is cut 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and then our designer series paper is going to be, and this is Friendly Hello paper. And Friendly Hello, I kind of skipped over that. I didn't even show it to you. But it's on page 12 and 13. Now this, you received the paper and stamp set with a $100 product order. So something else to consider in Celebration. So I love this paper. It's really pretty. I haven't used all the different sides yet, but in my class for Parks and Rec, I did use this paper, and I used quite a bit of different patterns for them to see it. All right, so again, this is 3 3/4 by 5, and it's going to get layered on some Fresh Freesia, which is just 1/8 of an inch bigger, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then we're going to flip this over, and we're going to put 5 Stampin Dimensionals on the back of it. And I put my dimensionals about 1/2 of an inch inside from the corner. And then I usually put one in the middle. That way it doesn't buckle on you. And I'm going to just use my Take Your Pick tool here to just grab those backings real quick. And I can throw them away a lot easier than just peeling them off. All right, then let me grab my silicone craft sheet, and we're going to look at the paper because we're going to need to add the organdy ribbon on, excuse me, the card itself. So basically we're going to do it the same way, except I'm going to tape it on the back side. So we just need to take our scissors, use these, and just about 1/2 of an inch on both sides. And then I've grabbed some Scotch tape here, and I want to bring it up about less than half. And this is another way I'm going to show you how you can secure the ribbon on the back side. You can just use tape. Now I like to use Stampin' Seal Plus because it's super, super strong. but if you don't have that, most people do have tape, so this works as well. And that way it's very secure. And this is pretty good and straight. So now what we can do is we can take this panel, make sure your card is opening the correct way, and we're just gonna layer it right on top of that basic black. Okay, so make sure you press on all 4 of those Stampin' Dimensionals. We're gonna set this card aside for a second, and we're going to stamp. So I need to get some scrap paper when I do this. Let's see, scrap paper is right here. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this one. These are all of the people that have earned their spot in Celebration. All right, so we've got our circle, and this is, I think, a 2.5 inch circle. Let me just see. It is actually 2.25. Yes, 2.25 inch circle. You can use your layering circles. I use my Stampin' Up! Retired punch. It works just the same. Now we're going to be using our Stampin' Blends, so we need to use the Memento Black. And let's find that bird. Okay, so when I use Memento Black ink, I like to take the ink pad to the stamp, and I kind of just give it a little happy dance here, and then just kind of tap it. And now you're going to go off the edge here, but just figure out what image that you want to see the most of. And I'm going to try to get it stamped the same way as I did on that sample. And when you stamp on photopolymer stamps, a lot of times it sticks. All right, so then let's see what else we need to stamp. We're going to stamp in the birthday, and this is going to be stamped in Memento Black. It doesn't really matter where I stamp it because I'm going to tear the edges. Just make sure it looks good. Then we're going to take our envelope and stamp our envelope. Okay, then we will take, this is how I designed the inside of the card. So I used Tasteful Labels die. So I die cut this with basic white, and I just stamped those 2 little images on the label. So this label here has a nice little etching all the way around it. So make sure you're stamping on that side, whereas the back side is very rough on the edges. So if you goof up on the front, well, then you've got the back side. It might be a little rough, but it all still works. So I'm going to be using the Fresh Freesia. And this is a really small stamp, and I have it mounted on a block. So I'm going to stamp in both corners here. Okay. We'll close this one up. Now we can assemble the cards. So this one really doesn't take much time either to make. Oh, actually, no, I've got to color this. So let me just tear off my sheet here. And how I colored the bird, now I'm probably sure there's no purple birds like this out there, but I don't care. I still wanted to match the designer series paper. So we are going to just still color it in Fresh Freesia. So I'm just going over with the dark Fresh Freesia over the lines here. I use a chisel point versus the brush tip. I seem to have a little bit more control when I do that, and I kind of stay in the lines most of the time. Now, do you guys have a favorite Stampin' Blends color that you guys use a lot? Like, is there certain colors that you might not have, or you wish you had, or do you have a full set? I think I finally have the full set of all the blends. Even the new ones, which are the skin tones. But those were so popular, they went on back order. All right, so we're done with the light. I'm gonna go over one more time. Actually, I'm gonna use the brush tip on this one. I'm just gonna make it a little bit darker throughout. Okay, I have to focus a little bit more when I'm using the brush tip. And this is a new Stampin' Blends. And when they're new, they are super juicy. All right, so that's the bird. We'll see how he dries. I might add some more dark to it. I'm not sure. The next, I'm going to use the dark pale papaya, and I'm just going to color on these little black lines here, which is the detailed. And then just kind of go out and around. And then I'm going to take the light pale papaya and then just kind of go out to the tips of those flowers. And then we'll finish this one off. Now the center I used, let's see. Oh, I used the Fresh Freesia Dark. So let's do that. Now the foliage, I chose to do, use mint macaron. And let me use the dark on this little branch here. Now, some people would have colored it brown, like crumb cake, or used some of the skin tones, but I'm thinking outside of the box tonight, and I'm using the mint macaron. All right, so then I'm just going to color in those little veins or whatever you want to call it in the leaves here. Okay, so we have everything colored in. I am just going to go over one more time on the bird here, these darker areas, just so we can see a little bit of definition. Okay, I promise, no more blending. Okay, let me grab those and put those off to the side. All right, so we've got our bird. All right, grab all my pieces here. All right, we've got our Hippo and Friends die cut. Love this one. I use the Hippo and Friends a lot. And I've got my little image here that we're gonna add to the back. I'm gonna grab my Stampin' Seal here. And I'm just going to use the Stampin' Seal on the back side. And I'm just gonna kind of look at it and see. I want that bird pretty upright. Okay, you can always press from the back side as well. Now this one is going to get popped up with 4 Stampin' Dimensionals. Just grab those and put those on real quick. All right, so then I'll take your pick tool just to grab these backings off real quick. And that way I can throw them right in the garbage. Let's bring our card in here. And let's find an area I want to put this in. Now there's a big area here that doesn't have any of those flowers stamped in black, so that's where I'm going to put it. See this straight edge here? I want to line the ribbon up right in the middle. So that's where my eyes are focused on. And then we're going to bring my eyes over to here so it's in the middle. Then we need to find the sentiment. So if you can see here, I've torn the edges on both sides, and that's exactly what I'm going to do here. This is a scrap, and I'm just going to use my thumb and just kind of tear it like a zigzag almost. So it gives it a little character. Now we're going to sneak this little sentiment down here. Now under the hope and best is where you're going to want to put Stampin' Seal, and under birthday is where you're going to put a Stampin' Dimensional, because we need to get that sentiment label at the same height as this die cut. Let me just turn this and add some seal, and then we're just going to slide this into position, making sure it doesn't go over the edge. Okay, now the inside. This is where the big bang happens, right? Okay, so I've got this Friendly Hello Designer Series paper, and it's cut 4 by 5 1/4. Just gonna add my seal to the corners and in the middle. And then I'm going to look at the paper and see which way I want it to go. I think this is a better direction for my eyes. So I'm just going to add this right onto the inside. And then here is our label, which we'll add on. We'll put this in the middle. Now the embellishments I used for this card are the iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. I believe these are still on back order because they were so super popular. But when they come back in stock, they had this like tint of purple in them. So I thought that would look really nice on the fresh freesia. So I'll just add 3 of them into the areas that don't really have anything printed. So you got 1, 2, and then let's put one up in the up here in this corner here, just so we can form our triangle. So boom, boom, and boom. Okay, and then here's the inside. Final step is our Wink of Stella on the bird, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to add the Wink of Stella on those little black lines where his or her feathers are, and then on the eye, and then let's put some on the floral as well. Can make it sparkle. Now our envelope. I did something different with this envelope, and I kind of made a mistake because I shouldn't have stamped on here. What I wanted to show you is you could add designer series paper on the front of your envelope. And let me just see something. Yeah, okay, it's not gonna work, and also you could take that happy birthday stamp and you could ink up in black and stamp right down at the bottom as well. So that's a different kind of type of envelope. And then here's a plain one that I just have the stamped image on. And don't forget, you can add your designer series paper on the envelope flap as well. Okay, so we've got, I colored the birds a little bit. This one's a little bit more, got some blending. This is like almost all the same color, but it really hasn't fully dried yet. So you can kind of see the 2 cards. Oh, I just smudged that one. I'm gonna have to fix that one later because I don't want that smudge. And then here's the envelopes. Super pretty. I really like this. Adding that designer series paper. Okay, what you think about these? You ready for card number 3? This is another one that really you can mass produce very easily as well. All right, so number 3, whole different look here. Let's clean up my area. I'm gonna pull in my last little tray here. All right. The next card is this one here. Love this one. I love this little girl. She's so stinking cute. So let's see what we are going to be working with in Salea-bration here. Where is she? Okay, so she is on page 6, is right here, and it's called Catching Butterflies. This is available with a $50 product order, and then I teamed it up with the Sunshine and Rainbows 6x6 Designer Series paper pack. This is also free with a $50 order, so you can combine these together with a $100 order, and you've got a pack of Designer Series paper plus this wonderful stamp set right here called Catching Butterflies. All right, so let's see where my bucket is. Right here. Got a lot of things in this one. Still got to clean up my area here. Okay, so let's see what we've got. I've got the girl here. Now we're working with cling stamps, so I don't need the Stampin' Purist mat anymore. I have her on a block, what is this, I. It's really the only one I could find that would fit very well, that I could actually handle. This stamp is too big for block D. I is what I had. And then since I'm wicked like short on blocks because I have them mounted on other stamp sets right now, I got the Celebrate Every Beautiful Thing on a block D, but use block C. Here are the brushed brass butterflies. It's really hard to say, but say it slow and you got it. They come in 2 different sizes. You can find these in the mini catalog. And here is the denim 3/8 ribbon. This is actually the first time I've used this ribbon, and there's no right or wrong side to it, so that's super fun when you're making bows for sure, but we're not making bows tonight. We are just going to use it as a strip. Here's my kit, so I've got that ready. And here's that Designer Series paper. I'll kind of go through it so you can kind of see it. Fun colors. I hope they carry over this paper because it's been so super popular, and this time of year, like, we definitely need color because where I live it's just dead. There's so much brown and there's so much mud on the snow, and it's all gonna melt tonight because it was 42 degrees at my house today. I had a nice walk, and I actually walked after I made it to the top of that big hill. I walk up not almost every day, but a couple times a week. I was so hot I had to take my jacket off, and I just walked in a t-shirt for a while, about a half a mile, and then I actually put my jacket back on. So look at all these blends, right? Okay, we're gonna work with quite a few. So let's go over them. We've got Daffodil Delight, Dark and Light. Pool Party, Dark and Light. Granny Apple Green, Dark and Light. And then we get into our skin tones. So I've got numbers 800 and 900. And then I have 500 and 600. Okay, so let's see, what do I need to do here? Let's see what we've got in here, see what I prepped myself with. Oh shoot, I do have the die cut, darn it. Okay, that's okay, we can have fun die cutting. I love to show you my mini cut and emboss. All right, so we're gonna stamp first, and this is just a scrap of basic white. Let's grab my girl here and my Memento black ink, because we're going to be blending using our Stampin' Blends, and Memento black is the ink, the black ink that you need to use. And I'm just going to stamp her right in the middle. Oh, actually, I need to stamp her. So let me show you. So this leg here is straight because she's kind of running with the butterfly net. And don't forget, we have to die cut her out. Oh, that was horrible. Good thing there's 2 sides to every paper, right? Let's try that one again. Okay, let's see if we can do a better job. You might see my head, I don't know. I think I moved it again, darn it. Let's see. It's not too bad, so we'll go with it. She's really on our tippy toes on this one. All right, then the next thing we want to do is, I've got Pool Party Scrap, and here's the sentiment label that I used. We're going to use this Stitch So Sweetly die, and this is going to be stamped in Memento Black as well. So I'm just going to ink up that stamp, and then let's just stamp it up here. Okay. The envelope, I'm going to stamp, again, the black. The sentiment's going to go right on that envelope in the lower corner here. Okay, so now I'm gonna color her, and then we will use our mini cut and emboss. Okay, so let's see what I used. I used Granny Apple Green for her dress, and I used the darks. I'm gonna start with, I start with darks. I don't know what you guys do, but I always do darks first, then lights, and then I'll go back with dark. So I'm just going to, this is a new one too. Boy, this has got lots of ink in it. So I'm just going to go over the lines here and down at the bottom of her dress. And then right here. And then here. And I'm gonna make this dress so it's darker on the bottom than it is on the top. And let me bring in the light Granny Apple Green. I'll work on her sleeves. And then let's blend right down into the dark. I'm going to use the brush tip just to get this a little bit in here. Just light touches in a small area. Okay, I think that's good. That's fine by me. So green is done. Then I'm going to color her skin. So I'm using, let's see, what did I use? I used, I don't know, I'm gonna just, doesn't really matter. I'm gonna use, what is this number? 900. So I'm just gonna grab her neck there, give her some color there, and on her hands. And then her ears. And then go along the hair, around the bottom. And I'm just gonna color in her face. Then I'm just gonna take the lighter one, and I'm just gonna go over just a little bit. I wanna give her some more suntan look. Rosy cheeks, I don't know. We'll see. Just gonna get a little bit, hopefully I'm not destroying this. Okay, I am gonna give her some blue eyes. Now I know it's supposed to be the white of your eyes, but I'm gonna give her some blue. Now to create the hair, what I did was I used 500, and I went and gave her the dark highlights first. So just kind of anywhere, like mostly on the ends. Just think about if you have your hair highlighted, what it kind of looks like. And now let me grab the light Daffodil Delight. Oh, I want the chisel tip. So we're adding some blonde hair. Well, her hair is blonde, but we highlighted it with the brown. I'm going to give it a little bit more brown, but I'm going to use number 500. Okay, now the butter, oops, you know what I forgot? I forgot her legs. Let's get those colored in. Now the net, I use Pool Party, and all I did was just go over the black lines here, the X's. That way you can kind of see the net a little bit better. Okay. That's all the blending I think I'm going to be doing. So let me just put these away. And I've got a die cut next. So we're using the Hippo and Friends dies. And I'm grabbing my number 3 and number 2, then the girl, and then let's grab, put the die over her. It's a tight fit, but it does fit. I'm using the washi tape just so that it will stay in place, and then we'll die cut this one, and then next we'll die cut the sentiment. Okay, so here she is. Let's look at her. All right, so there she is. Nice green dress with her hair, look very fancy. The next thing we'll do is die cut the sentiment. And again, I stamped on Pool Party and with black ink, and then I've got the Stitch So Sweetly, one of these. This fits perfectly on this sentiment. Ooh, hold on. I don't have washi tape on this one, so let me just see if I can do it again. Don't know. I think I might have stamped a little too high, so if I did, we'll have to stamp this one over again. Let me just see what it looks like. Oh, it did. It's fine. It got that little point there. It was barely on there, so thankfully that worked. Okay. All right. Now we just need to assemble this baby and we call it good. So the colors I chose, Bermuda Bay. How many of you guys like and use Bermuda Bay? I love it as a blue card. It definitely gives a pop of brightness and fun rather than like a Night of Navy. So super fun. And this is again Bermuda Bay. Then we've got Granny Apple Green. So Granny Apple Green and Bermuda Bay look really nice together. And then we're going to add the Designer Series paper here, the fun rainbows in, looks like Pale Papaya, Misty Moonlight, Granny Apple Green, and maybe Pool Party, I think. All right, so let's just add our seal. Remember, a light touch when you're using Stampin' Seal. This has got a 1/8 of an inch border, so I just kind of work in one corner and then up the other side, crossed and down. Now, I wanted to break this up, so this is the opposite side. And that's a strip of, it's 1 inch by 5. So we'll just take our seal and put it in the middle, and then this is gonna get adhered right in the middle of the panel. Then we're gonna take that denim ribbon, and we're gonna do the same thing we did with the previous card. Let's take our scissors and just cut it off 1/2 of an inch. Now, if you, it's easier if you do this. Just add some Stampin' Seal on the ribbon, and then add it to the center of that strip, straight across, pull it tight. Okay, then we'll flip over the edge. Let me grab my Stampin' Seal this time. This is the Seal Plus. And then we'll just pull those up. Oh, shoot. I put that on too high. I think I had it on. I didn't even notice it. I totally see what I mean. Oh, it's actually, it's not. It was like a, it looked like it was way too high, but I guess it's not. Was that super fun? I'm glad I didn't really make a huge mistake there. So let's grab our Stampin' Dimensionals. Again, we'll add 5. We don't want that middle to buckle, so you would definitely add 1 to the middle. Make sure they're good and pressed down before you take your, take your pick tool to just to grab those backings off real quick. And now we'll take this, make sure your rainbows are going the correct way, and we'll just add them right to the front of the Bermuda Bay. Then we will take the girl. This one also needs Stampin' Dimensionals. 4 of them, I think. Yeah, I just used 4 on this one. If you bring them in about 1/2 of an inch, it works fine. And then grab my, take your pick tool. Now the girl's gonna go right over here. And I'm centering her top and bottom in equal distance from here, here, and here. Then I'll take that sentiment. This is going to hang over the die cut here, so you need to put some kind of glue here. I'll use the liquid glue so you can see it. And then let's grab a Stampin' Dimensional, and we'll just put one right there. I think 1 will work. Okay, and we're going to tuck this over here. Okay, looking good so far. Now we will work on the inside of the card here. I've got a strip, but I don't think I cut white. So, hold on, because I want to finish this card for you guys. I'm just going to cut real quick. And this is 4 by 5 1/4. I always keep these because they make really nice sentiment strips. All right, so now here's a piece of the rainbow paper. You can put it, now this isn't, this is leftover from when I cut the paper, so it's not 5 1/4, it's 5 inches across by 1 inch. I used the rainbows on the inside. On this one, I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to add the green just so, it's a little bit different than the sample card that I made. So let me just grab my Stampin' Seal, run some adhesive down, and then 1/4 of an inch. Okay. Flip it on over, light touch. My little host thing is going crazy tonight. How do you like my little ladybug? Super fun ladybug bundle. Okay. Final touch are those brushed brass butterflies. And what I did was I took one of the large ones and I added it to the center of the net there. And then I snuck in a little tiny one way deep in that net. Then I took another little tiny one and put it out here. Okay, and then I took 2 more little ones and I made them kind of flying off on the sentiment, going different angles. All right, so that is our final card for tonight. Let's see, here's they're actually not much different, really. I just stamped it and die cut it a little bit different, but those are pretty much the same thing. Again, Bermuda Bay, Granny Apple Green, and then your paper, and that's Pool Party right here, this sentiment. So let me just stack up all the cards. Here's the envelopes just stamped on here. And then we've got the fresh freesia bird. Super fun. Looks tropical. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Oh, sorry. We need to get some Wink Stella on her dress. So let's give her a little bit of Wink Stella and her eyes. That's what I forgot. I knew she needed something. Okay, and then here is the other card. The envelopes. The envelope for this one. And then the final easy one, right? Ornate frames, 2 die cuts. Put your paper on the front. This is very vanilla. And then stamp something on the inside. You got that lace trim. Bam, you got some cards. And then the envelope just got that sweet little flower stamped in Pool Party. And we use the classic matte dots on this along with the lace, vanilla lace trim. So those are your cards for tonight. For Friday on my YouTube, I think I'm gonna do, I have my paper pumpkin, and I might just do an opening of the box so you can kind of see what it looks like when you open up a paper pumpkin box. We'll go through it and kind of look at it together. I still have it, it's all sealed up, so I'm not gonna touch it until Friday. And then, I don't know what else I'll create for you on Friday, but I know I'll think of something that you might like. So that's all I have for you. Let me just see if there was any other questions here. Kathy, I don't know if you know, but you are on my celebration list. So you earned a class with me on March 12th by Zoom. And Jody H, Carla A, she's on here, Kathleen H, Charlene L, I don't know if Charlene's on here, and Teresa C, you're on here too. So who's going to be next? All right, so just to go over my celebration one more time. And some of you are so close, like a $40 order would work, but I would just bump it up to $50 because then you can get something free, you know, one of these items here. So to earn a spot to my event, it'll be March 12th, 9 to 12. It's going to be in person at the Hartford Town Hall, from your own table, your craft table, by a Zoom private link. And all you need to do is order $150 or more in product during celebration. and you can earn your seat. And that doesn't have to be one big bulk order. It can be multiple orders. You have until February 28th to earn your spot, and that's just about 7 days left of Salea-bration. Salea-bration started January 4th. So I very much appreciate you guys. I think I'm getting the to-go retreat. Oh, you are? Okay, awesome. Did you guys, I don't even know, you know what, I'll show my cards again on YouTube because they're in my back room. I had to take them out of my room because I have one left because, okay, this is my favorite one for my retreat, right? This one is on my little, I have this little shelf that I use for photography. It's nothing great. It's a Walmart shelf. And I have my In Good Taste Designer Series paper as my background. So it makes pretty good pictures, but I have this one up on the little shelf and I just love this one. For me, I just want to go someplace warm where there's water and ocean and that type of thing. And this kind of reminds me of that. Like you have those gates, you know, you have grass and then you're kind of walking out to maybe like a sandy beach beyond all this foliage. So this one reminds me of the ocean. I don't know why, but it does. And I love it. So it's staying on my shelf because it brings happiness to me. So thanks for everything, you guys. Yes, my retreat is discounted price. So I don't have everything memorized yet, but it's always fun. And I'm hoping we'll expand into 2 rooms this time. So anyway, I'll see you guys on YouTube at 7 o'clock on Friday with my paper pumpkin and something else for you. You guys have a great night and take care.